Hiya, I'm your host Terry J. Aman, and with Michael Penn, Mikey Heinrich, Mindy Smith, Maroon 5, Matchbox 20, Marilyn Manson, Most Def,
Madonna,
Miss Lee, Missy Higgins, Mary J. the Carpenter, Ring T, Missy Elliott, Messoria, Kia, and Muse. VideoFuzzy the Soundtrack is brought to you by the letter M. Hit it! VideoFuzzy the Soundtrack. Episode 17, Long Way Down. Yep, welcome to this, my second run at M Artists. We're halfway through the alphabet. I highlighted the work of Melissa Etheridge last time. Simple fact, she crafted 6 of the LPs in my music collection that's well worth its own conversation. For this one, reached out to a friend of mine in Minneapolis, Mikey Heinrich, who in 2012 wrote a tribute to a TV writer we both admire, which that song has been in my collection since he posted it. Then, getting this project ready, I clicked over to it and discovered he's posted like a dozen songs to his channel, which, I had to add all of them. We'll get into that in my breakout section, but for right now, let's get things going with title track. Yep. M Artists. Well, apart from Melissa Etheridge, I'm showing 6 artists with 8 LPs and a ton of singles in this collection, so I absolutely have some stuff to talk about, starting with Michael Penn and his 1992 release, Long Way Down. Oh man, look what the cat drug in. It's got the dress, though the color's gone, that I gave my one true lover. Oh man, look what the wind blew home. Never had this much stimulation till a low down elevation. Oh, don't look in those eyes, bluer than blue. Rules on the rise, and if I wear apathy's crown, don't call me Highness. It's a long way down. Long Way Down wasn't the first song I heard by Michael Penn. I started classes at the University of North Dakota fall of 1988, found myself awake until 2 and 3 in the morning, smoking, copying endless notes for way too many classes, and watching music videos. No Myth was a single released from his 1989 LP March, which absolutely crossed my screen, but it wasn't until I saw Long Way Down, I really sat up and took notice, tracking it down on cassette and adding it to my collection. For one thing, the lyrics, while spare, are loaded with imagery. Look what the cat drug in, look what the wind blew home. Never had this much stimulation till her low down elevation. There's a lot to interpret. If I wear apathy's crown, King Apathy, don't call me Highness. It's a long way down. The explorations of highs and lows continue on to verse 2. Oh, what terrible things she shows. I'm overwhelmed by rumors this high and overcome by lows. Oh, what use to pretend? I've got the strength for this anymore. This is all in the world that she lives for, but oh, don't look in those eyes, bluer than blue. Rules on the rise, and if I wear apathy's crown, don't call me Highness. It's a long way down. Oh, what's going on here? Now, I would suppose that I'm not the only one one never knows. I've got a feeling she's been sleeping with the whole wide world. I've got a feeling she's been sleeping with the whole wide world. I've got a feeling she's been sleeping with the whole wide world. Oh, don't look in those eyes, bluer than blue. Her rule's on the rise, and if I wear apathy's crown, don't call me Highness. It's a long way down. It's a long way down. The video, like I said, really grabbed my attention. The animation attributed to the Key Brothers at the top of the release seemed reminiscent of gory, monochromatic, grim, Gilliam-esque almost cut paper elements that played with perspective and chaos, reimagined and repurposed over the course of the song. A violence in which a bilocating cat sharing its face at times with his lady love seems right at home with a faithless lover and glowering rage. In the music video, a well-dressed gentleman is seated across from a mischievous black house cat as parasol women drift uncertainly through the garden gate. The cat attacks the floating parasol women, who inexplicably switch out their parasols for greenery, cacti reminiscent of dinner service in the scene, which the lady-faced cat gobbles up, then its face reverting to that of the devious cat stabs the gentleman with the dinner fork, plucking the image of his faithless love and leaving him crowned with the pain of his own emptiness, stabbing forks and image closing on a deep red well where his heart should be. I am utterly astonished by the depth and power of image per word count. What a fantastic introduction to... Okay, Michael Penn, who has been Mr. Amy Man for nearly 30 years now, congratulations. I had occasion recently to recall her as a solidly talented lyricist, and I wanted to highlight Michael's deft pen here as well. A few examples I can point to involve one of the first songs I ever heard from him. I encountered him as an edgy poet with his single I mentioned up there, No Myth, from his 1989 release, March. So she says it's time she goes, but wanted to be sure I know she hopes we can be friends. I think, yeah, I guess we can say hi, but didn't think to ask her why. She blacked her eyes and drew the curtains with knots I've got yet to untie. The receiving end of the let's just be friends breakup is a whirl of self-doubt, demand for answers from the deafening silence. What if I were Romeo in black jeans? What if I was Heathcliff? It's no myth. Maybe she's just looking for someone to dance with. Just some of the lyrics in here are just, I really love the poetry in this debut single. Looking for some parallel can be an endless game. We said goodbye before hello. My secrets she will never know. And if I dig a hole to China, I'll catch the first junk to Soho. I love this. This song is, sometime from now you'll bow to pressure. Some things in life you cannot measure by degrees. Between the poles and the equator, don't send a private investigator to find me, please, unless he speaks Chinese and can dance like a stare overseas. Incidentally, I hadn't remembered seeing No Myth when it appeared in 1989, but I'm sure I did. I saw a lot of music videos back then. This one includes him strumming his guitar with great energy, but then includes a couple of washed-out B-story scenes in adjacent rooms. It really just made no sense to me. Possibly why, when he crafted the imagery for Long Way Down, he went in an entirely different direction, moving into his only full LP in my collection. Yep, absolutely among my influences. Michael Penn's 1992 release Free For All. I'm faced veritably, or at least virtually, with Walt Whitman's career's worth of clever imagery. Drained starts out, here's the car you will be driving, Rio works. Take the town on arriving, detour up the road, where every sign the car designs stick feather on with glue. And run amok upon the lawn, the sun comes up and it just dawned on me. Let you know that one thing's clear. The times come when all your love is drained. I love that image. It's set up perfectly, but it seems effortless. The reference to Radio Works, I learned somewhere that's a ringing endorsement, suggests the car, if that's the best you can say about it, is not in great shape. And then there's like 2 images of bondage in this set, back to back, as it were. Fresh on the East Grapevine, now that the black top's dried up, you'll be tied up and I'll be fine. A bit of an instrumental bridge then. Now that I've got your attention, toast to the host. There's a rope and wood invention, tie me to its post. There's a subject to consider, we both know each other too well. Forget the plumber, call the priest, the convicts have all been released. I just screwed this up, at least I think I have. I got nothing, but if it's an extension of the estrangement from Long Way Down, it's certainly interesting. 3 times loaded with zygmatic imagery. I just learned that from a Merriam-Webster post, squinting modifiers that realign meaning among disparate objects. Nice hat. You look like a referee. Nice watch. Why are you timing me? Spring has come unwound. I was not out of bounds. This is not out. I threw that line. I was handed free time. Whoa, whoa. The imagery realigns as the poetry unfolds. Bells clang. Guess it's a holiday. Did that rhyme? I'm a poet now. So give me stuff for free. And if I do somehow into the soft wave of beautiful eyes, stare down, stare, I won't apologize. I've never been the kind to close an open mind. Fascinating. Coal gives us imagery of coal, pressure, and diamonds, of finding something of worth, gold lost in this barren town. And seeing the doctor is an amazing exploration of image and situation. I loved a girl once, beyond compare. She saw inside me and gave me air. She was assisting my surgery. My heart was opened. She put a mask on me. I'm breathing, but it's become a chore. Now that you've seen the doctor, don't call me anymore. I was impatient. I was not in full arrest. And the symptoms were induced by something I could not digest. She said a mouthful, I swallowed whole. My heart starts beating a capriole, a murmur too different to ignore. And then the song ends with this bizarre and delightful image. Now that I've seen the doctor, you're just a f***ing bore. Like Dorothy L'Amour, dolled up in Singapore to meet the Commodores. Don't call me anymore. Because I googled Ms. L'Amour, and I gotta say, she didn't look boring. And meet the Commodores in the South China Sea sounds, like I said, delightful. They can glitz up and try to outsparkle each other.
It came from the canal zone. hot fiery gal zone, wild fever that rages. Watch out, it's contagious.
Thank you, Ms. Lamore. I spent way too much time on YouTube investigating what's otherwise a pretty straightforward rhyme, if a little dismissive, though if there was something obvious out there he was making a reference to, I wanted to at least acknowledge it. Deeper cuts get us even deeper poetry. Slipping My Mind is a folky waltz stuffed full of imagery, like that's the primary purpose of the song. Rats in my jacket, I'm so impressed, I am now seen unclean. Wash me up, mama, and give me a suit of gabardine. I had a suit by the look on my face, maybe it's plain to see. But that never stopped what was troubling me. Like once it was Monday out, and dry man it was a drought, and all that is slipping my mind. Something about the song is making me think of Lisa Loeb. Crack like a whip, like a brick coming down, hit me between the eyes. Another occasion I've yet to forget, was I unwise? Should I remind you that this is the end of camels and masking tape? And this demonstration of tripping with grace. If I need you, I'm intentionally wasting your time. Hey, everything's slipping my mind. Instrumental break with a Moby-esque background, call twang, bleed recurring at the top of one version of the Long Way Down video posted to YouTube. Shrug. Now copper and nickel are heads in my hand. I'll bet you your sparest change. That this time tomorrow you'll be miles away, with all trace of Monday out, with the deserts to think about, and all of it slipping my mind. By the book. Oh, this is the Lisa Loeb track. If this ain't by the book, then the book must be wrong. And maybe it is what you'd hoped all along. You didn't think I would go quietly when something about you is sticking with me. Song kind of reminded me of my friend Curtis again, too. The person I've been wasn't me, I surmise. You know me too well, you see through a disguise. Someone must have cloned a facsimile, and it bears repeating, sticking with me. They're cutting the bull and they're drinking its blood. Show me a patriot, show me a scud. That's about all I can get from TV. There's still a feeling sticking with me. Curtis is another friend of mine in the Twin Cities, may have been on my mind. Now we're even. It's utterly fascinating. I went to visit him in Maine 1,000 years ago, and that's where he was. There is a mention in the song, Now We're Even, that now he's a Stephen, and Maine is always a ready reference for Stephen King. Plus, the song mentioned Arcadia, and I remember visiting Sand Beach in Acadia State Park. Oh, I know, two different places entirely, but it's what my brain does. So, yep, of course, Mexico begins the travelogue. Never been to Mexico. It's only half a mile or so. A mission on the bluff below, don't get out much. Cocks crow and dogs bark. You were swimming in the dark. On tenderloin, a hungry shark is feeding. Now I'm warm and dry, and there the water table's high. It's pointless to identify my destination. Anchors away, and if I do my own self say, there wasn't any better way I was conceiving. Now we're even. I mean, it's such a fascinating jumble of thoughts and images. I'd say provoking, absolutely. Strange Season is another one. Sorry to go on such a dive, but I really think with the possible exception of something by Tori or R.E.M., this LP, which I never followed up on much, just added no myth when I realized I hadn't. This LP is such a satisfying collection of songs. The story is past tense. I did not want my cover blown, thought well enough was left alone, and who decided you to rescue me? Yeah, I do agree, bent and broken sad are we, up in a tree you're stuck, and the only lights off the wire are all the moths in the fire. Can't you feel how the air is getting dry? Try, but can't identify what you start to think. Baby won't go out at night. They took apart the angel's flight for this strange season. Angel's Flight, I'm told by lyric service, refers to a funicular out of Bunker Hill neighborhood in L.A. I'll come back to that. Did you feel the change from cold to hot? With fever you will have a bout. All you do is talk about the meaning of the walkabout. There I go again. Taste my own medicine. So shake your head and look around. The leaves don't fall, there is no sound of this strange season. Just, wow. I'll close these comments with, I was actually sure this was going to be the title track. It was so engaging. Bunker Hill is a showcase of talents and lyrics, and the drama infused in them is just wild. Always thought it was a game with us. Move until enough's enough. Into a picture-perfect view. I'd like to rip it up with you. Why would anybody leave this place? It's overdrawn and won't erase. And if you're feeling incomplete, the line is stretching up the street. So take a look, but you might stay until you've counted every light from Bunker Hill. Take a coat, you're gonna freeze. My baby sees every sentence with an underline. Never uses turpentine. Put out a fleece and build a kite. The siren's going off tonight. Lay your head down, do you call this chance? Found the exit, this entrance. Now time is still. I'm sorry that I kept you waiting here until. Hey Luanda, do you want a thrill? We can watch the light shine up from Bunker Hill. If it puts your heart at ease, my baby, please. Try, but you can't hide. Impossible, you're lit from the inside. All I gotta do is keep my eyes above the ground to see you move around. The only points of light are fires on Vermont. Somebody must suspect that all we really want is a tranquilizer gun, but still, it's a free-for-all on Bunker Hill. Everybody wets their knees on the trapeze. Utterly astonishing, and I think knowing that it's an Angelino neighborhood he's singing about, references that show up in other songs in this compilation, highlights the nostalgia and connection. For instance, I hadn't made the connection that this was the title track for this LP, A Free for All on Bunker Hill. The LP is called Free for All, so despite it walking off the stage a little bit towards the end, it's a good showcase for his writing, talent, poetry, and presentation. It's dramatic, referential, personal, which comes across, and I have no idea who Luana is, but in no way detracts from the powerful chording in this piece. What nudged it out of the title track for this effort was my own strong connection to Long Way Down, and the fact that the music video is so avant-garde, and the whole LP is such a piquant reassessment of thoughts, organization, and meaning. Well, it's really worth tracking down, lifting up. Please, track this one down. My heavens, what a work. Influences. In other influences, Maroon 5 has a lot of songs about Jane, we're told in that 2002 LP release, and my collection, I've got that and their live performance from January of 2003. I always love tracking the energy from a studio to a live performance, but the range is, I was part of a production long time ago now. I think I remember a blood pack, a squib that I liked to go a little nuts with. By our closing performance, the tech crew, my apron was something out of Sweeney Todd. It was murder mystery of some sort. I can't really remember it 1,000 years ago now, but it was a Minot Area Theatrical Society production, directed, I do remember, very talented director. Also worked with him in that production I've mentioned, Dickens' Christmas Carol. Well, he helmed our community theater production of Catch Me If You Can, not the DiCaprio movie, a different production entirely. I think I'm remembering the playwright was Jack Weinstock and Willie Gilbert. I played a deli owner, maybe a delivery guy, Sydney. I think the lights went out and he heard a shot. I smacked a squib under my apron. The lights came back on and I'd been shot. I can't remember what that was about now, neither here nor there. With the curtain call, they started the music. We came out to Maroon 5 singing Harder to Breathe. Yeah, I was absolutely tying this back to the music collection. How dare you say that my behavior's unacceptable, so condescending, unnecessarily critical. I got the tendency of getting very physical, so watch your step, 'cause if I do, you'll need a miracle. You drain me dry and make me wonder why I'm even here. This double vision I was seeing is finally clear. You want to stay, but you know very well I want you gone. Now fit to fucking tread the ground that I am walking on. That played over the curtain call, and we hadn't rehearsed it. We advanced for our bows as the song opened, took our bows and moved off to the sides. And I was always, every night, I was so impressed. Our lead, Sean Thomas, beautiful man, came striding out onto the stage at the top of the chorus, just dramatic crescendo. When it gets cold outside and you got nobody to love, you understand what I mean when I say there's no way we're gonna give up. Like a little girl cries in the face of the monster who lives in her dreams. Is there anyone out there? 'Cause it's getting harder and harder to breathe. Is there anyone out there? 'Cause it's getting harder and harder to breathe. Standing ovation, I think, every night. Fun play, really fantastic job. Owen Banks, our director, absolutely brilliant stagecraft, fantastic song choice, fantastic energy to close us, and it's timed perfectly every night. I had Maroon 5 on my radar. I can't remember when I added it in my collection. Apple Music dates the song back to 2002. The last file modified 2007, but added in 2018, like practically everything when I transferred everything I would transfer to my new tower. According to my notes, we staged Catch Me If You Can in 2003. That's the primary impression it made on me. Other songs by them I love. I think Harder to Breathe was probably the strongest single on the LP. Songs about Jane, but She Will Be Loved was lovely. This Love as well. We're only 7 miles from the sun was a vibe. Sunday Morning was a sweet little swingle. Tangled is such an interesting deep cut word, vibe, and imagery. You're just an innocent, helpless victim of a spider's web, and I'm an insect going after anything that I can get, so you better turn your head and run. Also, the chaotic beat structure of Shiver and the implicit panic behind. This city's made us crazy and we must get out. The acoustic take on these certainly lays an alternate vibe, and I Hadn't read Bongo on Sunday morning. Absolutely laid an easy vibe in. My fingers trace your every outline. Paint a picture with my hands. Back and forth we sway like branches in the storm, changing weather, still together when it ends. So sweet. Come and rest your bones with me. Driving slow on Sunday morning, I don't ever want to leave. The single I've got from them, Wake Up Call, answers stark betrayal. Looks like I must have added this when it moved in 2007. It looks like I added it with my lost tracks last April. Wake up call, caught you in the morning with another one in my bed. Don't you care about me anymore? Care about me? I don't think so. 6 foot tall, came without a warrant, so I had to shoot him dead. He won't come around here anymore. Come around here? I don't think so. I'm so sorry, darling. Did I do the wrong thing? Oh, what was I thinking? Is his heart still beating? Cold. Well, betrayal is absolutely a thing. I feel like a rush of images occurs. Maybe cooler heads would have prevailed, but that's not the situation we're in here. Certainly painted a picture. A solidly dramatic entry. Mindy Smith, a slow burn, evocative delivery that works so well for the neo-country gospel vibe I was enjoying on shows like Justified. I can't track down exactly where I first encountered her, but like her, Brenda Moldy, Jillian Wells would all be playing on the same radio station alongside self-titled Indigo Girls and Strange Fire, that sort of vibe. One Moment More is so plaintive and beautiful. Oh, please don't go. Let me have you just one moment more. Oh, all I need, all I want is just one moment more. A song that really defines, well, damn near everyone has done a cover of Dolly Parton's Jolene. Not everyone has done it as a duet with her. That's something. Come to Jesus. I was still a believer when this single broke, and oh, my baby, when you're older, maybe then you'll understand. You have angels dancing at your shoulder. For times in life you need a loving hand. The song progresses through the child's life. Oh, my baby, when you're praying, leave your burden at my door. You have Jesus standing at your bedside. Keep you calm, keep you safe, away from harm. The sentiment wraps up to a Savior who's conquered hell and driven out the demons, to a heaven where all made right and new. Follow your faith, all questions finally answered. Here in heaven we will wait for your arrival. Here in heaven you'll finally understand. Worry not, my daughters. Worry not, my son. Child, when life don't seem worth living, come to Jesus, let him hold you in his arms. It's a powerful sentiment. Resonated. I think I've talked about my emotional state of mind during mid-aughts. This song hit me in the feels, and it's in here. It's not where I am anymore, but I will absolutely, listening to her for this, the power in music, lyrics, and delivery, it's all still there. Maybe less impactful, I also have Meredith Brooks' 1997 release Blurring the Edges, that LP, and Mannheim Steamroller 2000 release Fresh Air 8, exploring 8 themes of infinity, love, music, life, and an afterlife, thought, math, art, philosophy, which, again, I reviewed for this entry, but honestly, I think this compilation may enter my collection via review copy, which I likely reviewed at the time, but contemporary classical was not a draw for me. Meredith Brooks was a vibe for her, celebration of self-contradictions. I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother, I'm a sinner, I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell, I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. You know you wouldn't want it any other way. Meredith Brooks, just a pin in that. It's when you think you got me figured out, the seasons already changing. I think it's cool that you do what you do and don't try to save me. There's other perfectly good songs on this LP. I think the only other one I actually like is the exploratory I Need. And this one's another shout out. This one, Todd Rundgren, nearly 50 at the time, to her nearly 40. I thought she was a lot younger. The song reads Healthy Irreverence. I need some money, and more time, a strong cup of coffee, a haircut, a lifeline, a stranger to trust me, a father to love me, Seattle, a sunburn, and lots of Todd Rundgren. I need a guitar to do it on all fours, and cool friends, a weekend, and someone to die for. That's all I need to see how easy I am to please. That's all I need. See how easy I am. I mean, it's a fun song. I don't know, I probably need stuff. Probably all of us do, or think we do. I like the eclectic nature of the things the song highlights and the hints of depth and insight it provides, or at least suggests it does. Madonna burst into my world. For anyone for whom music videos were of any significance, this artist had one of the earliest, strongest, and most consistent instincts towards the power of visuals in music production and promotion. I think the first music video of hers I'd ever seen was Papa Don't Preach, featuring the late Danny Aiello in the character of her father. The song was out in 1986, made a big splash, but Like a Virgin, title track from her second studio release, was a solid performance at MTV's inaugural Video Music Awards in 1984. She was doing everything in her stage performance that David Lee Roth was doing. Strong stage and camera presence, and, well, it's easy enough to look up for yourself, but it really worked. I didn't have MTV till I was in college, but radio was absolutely a thing. Like a Virgin and Material Girl were both strong releases. I absolutely saw the Marilyn Monroe homage at some point. True Blue, released in 1986 while she was married to, oh hey, Michael Penn's brother, Sean, intriguing, is in my collection because I recorded my sister's copy of it. It's entirely possible the tracks I have in my collection are from that cassette recording. I'm pretty sure I added her 1998 release, Ray of Light, as a CD. I loved her video for Frozen. I don't remember when I added her singles, Bedtime Stories, and Like a Prayer, though I've loved them forever. Both wildly provocative videos. I'd have said she knew exactly what she was doing. Hajj-philic imagery and Like a Prayer, devotional Muslim imagery and bedtime stories during the Gulf War was striking, to say the least. I got from her 1989 Express Yourself single release, the B-side of that, I've got The Look of Love, very different from other. I have Susanna Hoff's cover of Dusty Springfield's song by that name from Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery soundtrack in my collection, as well as ABC's also very different song by that name from Hamlet 2. Her video for Express Yourself, I remember evoking Metropolis imagery ahead of her Blonde Ambition tour, which informed some of the imagery in her 1990 release, Vogue. I talked about that 1990 Video Music Awards performance as well, pulling in fashion cues from the Dangerous Liaisons released in 1988. Oh, it just occurred to me the cold open the pilot episode of Ryan Murphy's Pose as well, a House of Abundance 18th century French finery. Like I said, evocative. I also have from her 2005 Confessions on a Dance Floor release singles Hung Up, sampling ABBA's Gimme Gimme Gimme, and Oh, Sorry. I don't want hear, I don't want know. Please don't say I'm sorry. I've heard it all before. I've heard it all before. and take care of myself. I love both of these, both of which I needed to add back into my collection as lost tracks. From the Next Best Thing soundtrack, I've got the title track from that effort. Well, titles from a lyric in her 2000 release, Time Stood Still, as well as her take on Don McLean's American Pie. I'm still adding Madonna's work to my collection, actually, tracking down copies of Desperately Seeking Susan, Who's That Girl, Dick Tracy, and Evita. I saw where she made an appearance at Tim Roth called 4 Rooms. I need to pull that up again for another watch at some point. Also, I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen trailers for A League of Their Own, which feels wrong. I'll have to rectify that at some point. I feel like I said all I needed to about Die Another Day when I pulled all of my Bond films up to talk about their theme songs in VideoFuzzy's episode 78, Nobody Does It Better. You can track that down and check it out for yourself if you like. Madonna is otherwise a solidly talented entertainer who has held our attention for decades. With a few high-profile goofs, she's otherwise, I'd say, generally had a very good sense of her voice, platform, message, standing up for herself, standing up for her fans, including gays and marginalized communities, centering voices can go unnoticed, and at a time when we'd been easy to dismiss. I love her strong instincts for provocation and message, which, how coincidentally got her attention and notoriety, which, hey, that's kind of how publicity and superstardom work, huh? She's been a fantastic entertainer through the years, probably more than any other artist, driven, expanded the roles of visuals and music production, perfected her own work within it. Love you, Madge. Lost tracks. There was absolutely some rebuilding in this process. I was missing a few Maroon 5 tracks, a couple by Marilyn Manson. It looks like I was cataloging and processing this set last April. I was waiting to conduct my interview with Benjamin Cole last summer, adding some new artists as well, Memphis Mayfire, and she wasn't a lost track, but I was surprised to see she wasn't in there. I added some Miranda Lambert. No, not a huge boot-stomping country fan, but I enjoy women reclaiming their power. I was absolutely here for this vibe. Madonna was one of the earliest artists I became aware of as unavailable when I switched to my new PC in 2013 or so. It coincided with an email I no longer had access to, and Apple Music couldn't authorize it, as it turned out some 250 songs in my library, which I've slowly been adding back since. Songs I purchased between 2006 and 2009, authorized under that email, forever lost to me. I re-added Hung Up and Sorry from Madonna's Confessions on the Dance Floor entry, Murray Head's One Night in Bangkok release, Maxi Priest's Wild World, a couple from Matchbox 20, Feeling Good by Michael Bublé, the Mars Volta, and even Melissa Etheridge track that absolutely have been in here. I recovered that entire LP, Your Little Secret, which bizarre since that whole CD was physically in my possession at one point. I'm sure that's where all the songs originated. Well, as she pointed out on stage at the Fort Lauderdale concert I referenced last time, her fans have been purchasing and repurchasing her music so often over the years it's just driven her multi-platinum status through the stratosphere, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer artist. Whatever had happened to them, I'm glad I can listen to them again, at least just to chat about, so let's get on with that here. Breakouts.
Some boys, they swoon from Marty nights, where other boys, Doug Petrie is the man. And they both swear it's true, the only one for me is you. My heart belongs to you, Jane Espenson. And Jane, you got a foxy brain, I'll take you maybe golfing in the north of Spain. We'll break our stories in the sun. Jane, I don't mean to presume, but you're the sexy vixen goddess of the writer's room. How can I show you you're the one? Won't you make me Mr. Espenson? And I'm sure that David Fury is a stevedore in bed. Though he's pretty keen, did he create Warehouse 13? No, you're the precious artifact instead. And Jane, if it don't seem plain, I want to take you out for pudding up in Bangor, Maine. then home to Ames, 'cause you're there queer. And Jane, no shindig ain't no crime if you would only come and see me once upon a time. I know you never would be mean. Please put your A-plot into my BC. Yeah, that came out a little dirtier than I meant. It was a legitimate term. And Jane, you're driving me insane. I only want to see you dancing in the purple rain. Yeah, I just stole that line from Prince. And Jane, I'll shout it near and far how your episodes of Torchwood were the best by far. They benefit from your beneficence. I ain't seen Captain Jack the same way since.
I'm fortunate enough to have with me tonight author of this intriguing piece, my friend. Well, Mikey, please introduce yourself.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Mikey Heinrich, and we go back quite some few years, actually, at this point now.
Good Lord, I think we started chatting on the Angel Forum about 2003 thereabouts. Welcome to VideoFuzzy the Soundtrack, and from Minneapolis. And for context, we're chatting around February in 2026. I didn't want to focus, but you've been a first responder there. I just wanted to check in how you're doing. How are you tonight?
Yeah, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know whatever adjective you want to use. I actually retired from being a first responder a few years back, so fortunately I'm not directly involved, although I still have a lot of friends on Minneapolis Fire who are. So yeah, it's crazy times here.
Well, I appreciate your time tonight for sure. Thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
Winters are bad enough without the additional stress.
I did see somebody had posted something on Facebook about they honestly saw a city entirely descended from Vikings and invaded in winter.
From Louisiana.
Yeah.
But you've been in my thoughts through all this. I wanted to start.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I want to start by observing the work you were doing around this time. This is a standout piece, the love song to Jane Espenson. We get multiple mentions of Michelle Pfeiffer, by Bruno Mars, and Band's Joy. In my own collection, I have Bree Sharp lionizing David Duchovny, modern day Heathcliff, brooding at Copley.
I love that EP. That Bree Sharp EP is fantastic.
She's fun. And then Meredith Brooks in this set demanding Seattle, a sunburn, and lots of Todd Rundgren. So what inspired you to craft a song-length proposal to award-winning writer and producer Jane Espenson?
I absolutely adore her, and I was actually thinking about this just this afternoon, trying to trace it back, and it stems from my deep and abiding love of bonus features on DVD box sets. Back a million years ago when I had bangs. No, I didn't even then. They were already gone by this point. But I was listening to the bonus features on, I want to say it was either Buffy Season 2 or Angel Season 1. And a lot of the bonus features included interviews with Jane Espenson, one of the writers. And she was just so effortlessly cool and had written, frankly, the episodes I thought were the best. And then I gradually came to realize she'd also written, Shindig for Firefly, and was, I think by that point, writing for Torchwood Miracle Day. She came in on that. That might have been later. But I was just so compulsively drawn to the interview segments with her because, she was funny and charming and genuine. And then I found out she had a blog online where she gave advice for writers and just kind of tracked her progress on stuff.
Your blog's incredibly kind, with tips for writers who would love a glimpse inside your mind, and Caprica and BSG. I never actually watched any of those. Sorry.
But yeah, I just became fascinated by her, and for some reason, it struck me as funny to write a love song to her since, obviously, my partner Roy probably wouldn't be completely on board with me leaving him for Jane, and I don't know Jane's situation at all. But I it seemed like the appropriate way to express my deep affection for her while making references to a lot of her works. I was super into Warehouse 13, as I recall at the time.
Because I was thinking about it, this wasn't your first song. You've got a couple of pieces on your channel that seem to predate the Jane Espenson one.
Jane Espenson is actually, Love Song to Jane is actually the last, hopefully not, knock on wood, was the most recent song that I have written, because I'd kind of fallen away from it while I got involved with other stuff. Mm-hmm. In fact, I genuinely don't think I could sit down and play it. I wrote it, and then I polished it for a week. I had recorded one version of it on acoustic that was pretty rough, because I had just finished writing the song like half an hour before I recorded it.
I think you were a few beers in, if you were remembering.
I was going to discreetly.
Well, that might have been improvement. I don't know.
Yes, the re-recording was benefited by a week of practice and being sober. It turns out is a better way. Go ahead and record things.
Well, I thought both. I mean, it's fun that both of them are up there, because both versions are cool, and you can kind of see how the timing and some of the other things that you do in the are pretty fun.
I actually hadn't listened to the original version in however many years it had been since I recorded it, and I did just the other day out of curiosity, and there's actually stuff that I like a lot better in the original version than in the polished version later. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to revisit it and see if I can find the best parts of all of it.
Oh, for sure.
Are you familiar with a writer online who goes by the Bloggist? I'm blanking on her real, Jenny Lawson, I think might be her real name.
Not one I'd run into, no. Hysterically
funny online blogger who achieved some fame and opened a bookstore, and she's just super cool on her own. Deserving of her own love song, really. Although she's happily married, and again, I don't date women. But, it's small hitches.
Details.
But she is super into sci-fi genre television stuff, writes about it. So I sent her a link to the love song for Jane Espenson, the second version, and she responded in an email back to me, actually, fairly quickly with, "You rock more than you will ever know." And I was like, okay, that is the best compliment I've ever gotten from anyone in the entire universe.
That's so nice.
It was so cool.
And what I was thinking was, I was putting these together, I thought maybe Espenson rhymes maybe a little easier than Drew Goddard, David. You've got Tim Minear. You mentioned Marty Knox. You did get Vixen in there.
Yeah, I did, yes. She's the sexy Vixen goddess of the writer's room, yeah.
Marty, we'd have quite a party. Tim, you're just so full of vim. David, you got the mustard out.
My favorite thing about including the other writers, and of course they were all Buffy writers that were also on the same DVD extras that had caused me to write the song in the first place. It's why they got a shout out. But I'm, to this day, have absolutely no idea if it's Doug Petrie or Doug Petrie. I have no idea. So if you go back and you listen to the song, I do my absolute hardest to split it right down the middle so that I can claim that it was whichever one is right.
And the Shindig line...
Shindig was the only episode of Firefly she wrote. I only realized that much later on, but God, that's a great episode.
Well, it did stand out. I mean, it stood out in a far too short series of very good episodes, very good character development. So, I started this. I was just going to get a few sentences from you, a fun little song in my collection. I hadn't realized that you had this full catalog of songs in your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've actually got at least a dozen more that I've written, anyway, that I've never actually gotten around to doing a recording of to put online. I should see how some of those hold up, revisit them.
Well, there's one, I mean, when I saw Driving Away from Myself, first I subscribed to your channel. I mean, I had to, because it was kind of like, whoa, okay, there's a lot on here. And then, I mean,
please like and subscribe.
I did. I'd call a productive set of years. Well, you said, okay, Jane was the most recent one. I heard applause at the end of the Mary Shelley. Were you doing Giles at season 4 kind of open mics at coffee shops? What?
I was. At least one of those videos is a recording I did live at a coffee shop / bar called Jitters, which predated the coffee shop of the same name in the Flash Berlanti universe. So I've always felt superior on that front. But yeah. Is it Mary? Yeah, Mary Shelley was a live recording.
Oh, that was fun because there was this comic stylings of Mindy Cohn, Grace Jones' sense of the esoteric, Cher, Sandra Bernhardt's clavicle.
Sadly, I think Mary Shelley, as much as I love that song and I like playing it to this day, but God, those references are so early 90s. Like,
you were embarrassed by the dated references when you were performing it.
Yeah, I was, and that was a while ago. I can't imagine trying to explain to someone today who Susan Powter was.
We gotta stop the insanity.
Somebody's got a salted pretzel in their hand. It's like, give me that salted pretzel!
Oh, she has vanished into the first 3 versions of the internet, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you're just going to get blank stares.
But what I was going to say, it's the second reference to Madonna in my collection. Billy Crystal singing about her belly button, and then you're singing about her bottom. Aside from Lady Gaga and her career through the late aughts, Madonna is decidedly celebrated, but I just wanted to say it was a conscientiously curated gathering of attributes.
I cherish being a part of the Madonna presence in this collection.
No, I just wanted to explore this because it was really fun. And you had mentioned that you had other songs that you're putting together, or maybe you've got in mind to play. How long have you been playing? Because I just wanted to say that was kind of cool to singer songwriter kind of.
Yeah, I started learning the guitar in high school, senior year, I think it was. And most of the same reason I learned how to cross stitch, as so many musical artists say. The reason that I picked it up actually originally was I have an inherited tremor, and I thought that learning to play the guitar would help to steady it, which it doesn't really, but I still enjoy playing. But yeah, and high school was, more than a couple minutes ago at this point.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Now that I think about it, I think I might have lied to you earlier. I think Driving Away from Myself I might have written after Love Song for Jane.
It was a beautiful piece.
Look in the rearview mirror, hit the gas and drive away. You can only take so much, I figure, and anyone with sense can see. I've been a colossal jerk, that's why I'm breaking up with me. The bag first thing this morning, toothbrush and some underwear. When I get home from work this evening, I won't find me anywhere. And I'll be the man I always meant to, not the creep I came to be. Look at all the lengths I went to get the hell away from me.
I absolutely love the vibe, and it's clever, but also it sounds really reflective and nice. Like you got some, I thought some really good poetry in that piece.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd gotten sent a screenplay from a friend from high school. His name's Raina. I don't think the movie ever got made, but their music was very much a part of the story, and she was looking for songs to get incorporated into it.
Wow.
And so I wrote it specifically for that. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I don't think the movie ever happened, but I'm working on writing a musical actually at the moment, and I realized it was a perfect fit for that, so I'm repurposing it slightly. Hopefully that'll see a production at some point here.
Well, you've been really, polymath. I know that you're a script writer, playwright. You've, along with the songs, and then I've really been impressed by your media critique as well.
Oh, thanks.
I feel like you've got a lot of creative energy, and it feels like you do find some really good outlets for it.
Yeah, I've been lucky, kind of happening into things. So I've been enjoying kind of finding things as they turn up.
There was one thing, because you didn't do a lot of covers. Most of the music you posted was original. There was one cover, Tomorrow, Wendy, and I thought that was a Concrete Blonde. Are they the originators of that one?
Originally it was Andy Preboyd, who was the second lead singer for Wall of Voodoo. Okay. Originally it was one of his songs.
So that was one of their covers. Okay.
And so he then joined Concrete Blonde. So I don't know, technically does that make it a cover at that point? It's still him. But yeah, I just always thought it was such a beautiful song. But I think I even say in the video that I record, which I'm playing way too fast, by the way, I just re-listened to that one the other day. I was like, oh, just slow down. Dude, slow down. I mean, if I'm playing live, I'll do covers just because they help fill out the set. And it's like, yeah, it's just fun to play the song. But if I'm recording something, I think if you want to hear Tomorrow, Wendy, you're better off listening to the people that originally recorded it.
That's fair. But I kind of love that people are able to like bring their own energy to things and the poetry that they find in these things too.
Yeah, no, it's just such a good song.
Mikey, you are an incredibly talented person, a shrewdly comic playwright, clearly talented singer-songwriter, insightful media critic, and blogger. I don't have a question. I just wanted to say these things. You've written an autobiography. You've written plays. People can subscribe to your YouTube channel. They can subscribe to 40 Second Vizsla. They can find you on Do Reviews. Links in the show notes. What else do you have going on, if I forgot to mention?
Yeah, still trying to get the autobiography published. It's really more about Roy than it is about... Well, no, it's about me. I'll make it all about me. I'm good with that.
Autobiographer.
Yes, exactly. Also promising aluminum salesman by day. But, that's less of a creative outlet and more about having a mortgage.
Which, another reality of life. I just wanted to thank you so much for joining me. And
you're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolute best to you and all of District 3 up there. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We're getting through it.
Oh, my dear, my heart. Mikey Heinrich, everyone, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, and this sounds like an invitation.
Everybody.
Jane, you got a foxy brain. I want to take you mini golfing in the north of Spain. We'll break our story in the sun. And Jane, I don't mean to presume that you're the sexy vixen goddess of the writer's room. How can I show you you're the one? Won't you make him Mr. Espenson? Won't you make him Mr. Espenson? Assuming there isn't already Mr. Espenson.
I didn't do an enormous amount of research.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good Lord. Thank you so much, Mikey. So much. Apart from Mikey, who himself is pretty much an influence at this point, and I couldn't ask for a better one, a few other artists have multiple tracks in this collection. The next one, I have books, VHS video, or I had. That's one of the tapes that went missing in the move, but YouTube hooked me up this past week. I added the full digital copy of Marilyn Manson's God Is in the TV, and my Apple Music collection. I've got the artist saying, Don't Like the Drugs, the cover of Depeche Mode's Personal Jesus, Rock is Dead, and, oh God, yes, Beautiful People. Well, One of the worst decisions I've ever made coincided with my choice of Sweet Dreams for, I believe, 2005 was my first ever karaoke experience. I don't know how good people are supposed to be for these things, but someone had just sang Jose Cuervo by Shelley West, and I just remarked to my friends how repetitive that song was. To which Annie Lennox sang, "Hold my beer, 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 beer. Sweet dreams are made of this." Now, Marilyn Manson's version had just come out, so I could maybe make it more interesting if I tried singing it in that style. No, I could not. I did not. That song wasn't going to sound good coming out of me, whoever I emulated. It ended up some uncertain space between, and no, gotta say, not especially happy with that. I wish I had chosen a different song. I mean, I was with people who could sing and kindly let it stay in the past, but wow. I've had good experiences since, but some of these memories sting. Marilyn Manson, the beautiful people. He is another problem with my personal timeline. My so-called life included references to Marilyn Manson. Claire Danes as Annabeth Chase defending a concert performance her parents were overreacting to as he's a singer. That show aired one season, 1994 to 1995, and this song came out in 1996. Brian Warner's band Marilyn Manson formed in 1989, and their first LP release in 1994 I don't remember knowing anything about. So, time is doing that thing again, where I thought I was in college watching Marilyn Manson videos on MTV, and this is simply not the case. I guess what stands out to me most about his stuff is the incorporation of fascist imagery. Also, hot pink police uniforms. At this point, I don't know if the emulation is to reduce its power or to repurpose it. At the time, I was a fan, but I also saw everything in the world ironically, so that's probably how I'd characterize what I was witnessing. Just supercilious duality of contrast. You get into the lyrics. I don't even want to recount them here. Well, there is this one. Rock is deader than dead. Shock is all in your head. Your sex and your dope is all that we're fed. So all your protests and put them to bed. Oh. God is in the TV. Rock, la 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 la. 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 Which, damn, I feel like it's a punk rock callback. I can't remember it offhand. I don't know how to search for it. I love his video references to JFK, Antichrist Superstar, and his Andy Warhol was brilliant. So cool I was able to, when that tape went missing, I was able to add it again. 1999 compilation. Music and videos going back to his earliest career, backstage concert footage from the Mechanical Animals, Beautiful Monsters, and Rock is Dead tours. I love being able to connect with that music and imagery. Photos and VideoFuzzy's Instagram. That book is a trip. Matchbox 20 is in here. I guess I'll just... Rob Thomas, well, a talented vocalist, probably shouldn't be in my collection. I do enjoy his edgy energy and what comes across as rest of disinterest in singing. I just kind of wish that there's a reason with millennia of pop culture to reference the Barbie movie selected Push to be the song for all the Kens to be singing. I don't have Push in my collection. I have Bend. I have Disease. I appreciate drama his gritty vocals are capable of. It's one of those things where, I've still got Bradley Gilbert in my collection. Holy Christ. Again, music reflects our human condition, which is not always exemplary. So, yep. Skating right past My Darkest Days and Luda singing Porn Star Dancing under Sparks as well. Just, no, not a track I lead with, absolutely. Making up for it a bit is Muse. Every 10 years or so I add a Muse track to my collection. I approve of the volume, message, and at least some level, the drama, but On another level, a song is just a song until we apply it to our current situation, and all I do is podcast. So, Uprising is a good vibe, could use a little more active voice, and then more recently I added their map of problematique. Life will flash before my eyes, so scattered and lost. I want to touch the other side, and no one thinks they are to blame. Why can't we see that when we bleed the same? High drama, the stark truth, club bop, on to the next one. Well, I enjoyed Miranda Lambert's. I mentioned her up there. I enjoyed Country Western Treatise on Female Empowerment. Man in her life puts hands on her, smacks her hard, shakes her. She gets herself fixed up, and, well, the legal definition would be lying in wait. But yeah, I think everyone in the trailer park, most of the women anyway, heard the fight, heard him threaten her before she showed what little girls are made of, gunpowder and lead. And then it's a breakout, so I also have Mama's Broken Heart. Word got around to the barflies and the Baptists. My mama's phone started ringing off the hook. I can hear her now saying she ain't gonna have it. Don't matter how you feel, it only matters how you look. Go and fix your makeup, girl, it's just a breakup. Run and hide your crazy and start acting like a lady, 'cause I raised you better. Gotta keep it together even when you fall apart. This ain't my mama's broken heart. Video-wise, I mean, I think I'd have done so much more with this video. Carrie Underwood's Before He Cheats, destroying his pickup and then walking down the street while her psychic rage shatters the windows in every building she passes. Miranda's video, she hid in her house, sipped some wine, ripped a hole in her stocking. I really think we could do better than lying fully dressed in a bathtub and attacking a Cornish hen. But, you know, I'm not on a lot of people's speed dial to direct music videos, so, you know, it's the world we're in. Continuing with this theme, I loved Meghan Trainor's in here defining her own space. I got songs like this from Pink, from Cowboy Junkies, and this one just tuck right to the hand. My name is no. My sign is no. My number is no. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Not to the no, no, no. If I want a man, I'ma get a man, but it's never my priority. I was in my zone before you came along. Don't want you to take this personal. Blah, blah, blah. I be like, not to the no, no, no. All my ladies, listen up. If that boy ain't giving up, lick your lips and swing your hips, and all you gotta say. My name is no. My sign is no. My number is no. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. Not to the no, no, no. I've also got Dear Future Husband in here for when her mood changes, but yeah, I love that energy is out there. People got, in a world of, if you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me, and you'll be left alone. We need more. Oh, yes, let's skip to that part. Memphis May Fire. Honestly, I encountered these plaintive demands of the universe somehow and added them somehow, possibly through Shazam, but wherever they came from, I love the imagery of making friends with all my demons, ever lonely, and nothing left to lose at rock bottom. Wounds turn to scars, yeah, I got 'em. But I've come to learn you gotta let it burn if you're gonna be forged in fire. And it's easier to say that I hate it than to admit that I created. And again, from somebody, it's like the other half of the conversation from Evanescence and the join up in the final line of the chorus. I don't know when I became somebody I don't recognize. I swear to God I never saw this coming. I never thought I'd leave it all behind. I want it, don't need it, I had to realize. I hate it, I feel it, believe my own lies. I really think that I could use somebody to bring me back to life. And I know it's only just a matter of time before a flatline vital signs cannot be revived. Wow, full Cookie Monster there. But yeah, large with the drama and more than passing reference to mental health at a time with the contemporaries. And the song came out in 2022. I added them May of last year. I mentioned California Dreaming in this project before. I had the Spanish language version by Coda. So, yep. Also got the originals by the Mamas and Papas. I also got their précis of the folk music scene circa 1970 in Creek Alley, which is some fun energy and yet tough to cram an entire genre of activity into 5 verses, but damn if they didn't at least try. Michel DeCello is in here from 2 different soundtracks, Batman and Robin and Higher Learning. Nice. I mentioned Madonna. Michael Jackson is in here a couple of times. Well, Smooth Criminal I talked about before in both podcasts. It's single They Don't Care About Us. And then Vacation and Barbecue. Small talking had nothing to do. You keep it locked in a shopping cart. A bourgeois Shangri-La. I got a feeling that I don't belong. Got a feeling that I shouldn't be here. I can't stand another single day. I gotta get away. Talking shit about the neighbor's wife. When she comes, you put on a big smile. Like a throw up in a Gucci bag. She's coming here to brag. I got a feeling that I don't belong. Got a feeling that I shouldn't be here. Can't stand another single day. Gotta get away. A house and a boat and a great shiny car. Things just to prove you'll go far. Soda stream or widescreen TV, cute little dog. Perfect in your shallow bourgeois. Oh, my, wow. I really, Miss Lee's Bourgeois Shangri-La. You know, I do not remember when I first heard this song, but its release date of 2009 suggests Desperate Housewives had been running for 5 years already, and the vibe was definitely out there. Then, a couple of years later, I didn't realize Swedish group releases Heart Goes Boom. I don't need no doctor treating me. No, no, no. I don't need no pills or therapy. No, no, no. Freud might work for some, but that just ain't for me. No, I don't need no pills if you're just coming back to me. 'Cause when I'm with you, baby, I'm feeling less confused. And my heart goes boom, boom, boom. And my heart goes boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I find that I can absolutely relate. Love the energy in this one. Fun songs, fun group. Sparks. In Sparks, artists with one song in my collection. There are many, but there's one I chat about in VideoFuzzy episode 77. I mentioned Mary Chapin Carpenter's Closer and Closer Apart, ran through the emotional closing second season episode of In Plain Sight, which I love the music and the energy it brought to the scene. I added it to my collection instantly. Tell me the truth. Don't ask me to lie. These are the things we say. You don't need proof. I'm not gonna try. I think we've lost our way. I don't own the sun. I can't raise the moon. Now as darkness falls, love's a hard one. And over too soon. Another cruel landing call. What I can do is turn out to you, holding my hand to my heart. All I know is I'm watching us grow closer and closer apart. These breakup songs always hit hard. Goodbye songs. Anyone who heard me talk about The Cure's A Fragile Thing knows where that's coming from. We got another one from Missy Higgins. Where I Stood. Oh, holy God. I don't know what I've done, or if I lied, I've begun. But something told me run. Honey, you know me so or none. There were sounds in my head, little voices whispering that I should go and this should end. Oh, I found myself listening, 'cause I don't know who I am without you. All I know is that I should. And I don't know if I could stand another hand upon you. All I know is that I should. She will love you more than I could. She who dares to stand where I stood, and I won't be far from where you are. If ever you should call, you meant more to me than anyone I've ever loved at all. But you told me how to trust myself, and so I say to you, this is what I have to do. 'Cause I don't know who I am without you. All I know is that I should. And I don't know if I could stand another hand upon you. All I know is that I should. 'Cause she will love you more than I could. She who dares to stand where I stood. This song, it cuts so deep because these people aren't even having problems. Unless they are. I mean, she's not even blaming anything on this guy. It's just a realization time has passed. This relationship, she needs to know who she is. And this is a relationship subsumed her entire being. And realization she just needs to step away. I don't even know how you can't even be mad, really. I think hearing something like this, something told me to run. Little voices whispering I should go and this should end. That sounds like a loud enough cry for help. Even thanking him, acknowledging the strength she's found, even take the step away. You taught me how to trust myself, and so I say to you, this is what I have to do. Just, whoever these people are, I wish them well. I made a swiping reference to Moby while I talked about Michael Penn's Long Way Down. There was sounds like a sample of some weird studio effect similar to Moby's pulled in for Why Does My Heart Feel So Bad? I misremembered an ancient recording sample. I've been downhearted, baby. I've been downhearted, baby. Ever since the day you left. Ever since the day you left. It wasn't Moby at all. It was the Primitive Radio Gods and their track Standing Outside a Broken Phone Booth with Money in My Hand. For Wikipedia, the sources are disputed. Moby also referenced an older sample, this one from the 1960s, but less directly. And then certainly both Primitive Radio Gods and whatever the hell was happening with Michael Penn's track, which sounded like nothing so much as, however, unlikely recording error in the track itself, sampling old-timey tracks that had distinctive sound and clearly deliberate, at least as regards Broken Phone Booth. Mos Def had, I thought, a stronger entry, Yazzie Bey, message and energy-wise. You recall I had occasion to chat about him in episode 75 VideoFuzzy, his appearance with Jack Black, and acknowledged golden thread in that effort Danny Glover, Be Kind, Rewind. Bey references, some might say reclaims, Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang. He gets the rhythm and flow going. Also references late Nigerian musician and activist Phil Kuti at the top of the song. I love the relentless driving beat energy of that entry. Absolutely needed to add that back in my collection. Can't remember where I'd heard it. An Apple Music commercial, maybe. I I'm very happy I did. And I mentioned the Batman and Robin soundtrack up there, music from and inspired by Batman and Robin. Moloko is in here from that one, and it's a fun little wiggle. I dreamt that I was dreaming. I was wired to a clock. Tickled by the minute hand. Tick-tock, tick-tick-tock. I dream I'm on a train, and it was making music. Don't remember getting on. Clickety-click, clickety-click. I dreamt that I was very tall. I was bigger than King Kong. The bells they were ringing, ding-dong, ding-ding-dong. It goes on like this. The singer, she dreams she's chasing the monster out of her. She dreams of a boogeyman and Mr. Spock. She dreamed that she was sleeping and caused her to awake. I mean, just an avalanche of imagery in a dark and surprisingly confrontational jam, given that the life of this song is entirely inside the singer's own head. Oh, and speaking of confrontational, I ran into these guys' performance in an October 2009 episode of the Colbert Report, Mountain Goats singing Psalm 40 verse 2, which, like Samuel L. Jackson's character in Pulp Fiction, quoting Bible verses to sound badass. The song recounts some sort of attack on a church, or at least it sounds like one. Left that place in ruin, drunk on the spirit and high on fumes. The title verse refers to God retrieving the penitent from a perilous situation, exalting them safe on high. He has fixed his sign in the sky. He has raised me from the pit, and he has set me high. That said, they don't sound too penitent. Feel bad about the things we do along the way, but not really that bad. I don't think they inhabit the subjects of their derision all that entirely. Lord, send me a mechanic, if I'm not beyond repair. Another road song, this one from Broadway musical Chess, which I'm sure I'll see one day. Murray Head singing One Night in Bangkok. One night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster. The bars are temples, but the pearls ain't free. You'll find God in every golden cloister, and if you're lucky, then the God's a she. I can feel an angel gliding up to me. One town's very like another when your head's down over your pieces, brother. It's a drag, it's a bore. It's really such a pity to be looking at the board, not looking at the city. What do you mean? When you've seen one crowded, polluted, stinking town, tea girls, warm and sweet. Somerset up in the Somerset Mom Suite. Get tied, you're talking to a tourist. Every move's among the purest. I get my kicks above the waistline, sunshine. Fun. I was just mentioning soundtracks. Lady Marmalade is in here. Missy Elliott joined with Maya, Pink, Lil' Kim, and Christina Aguilera. He met Marmalade down in old Moulin Rouge, strutting her stuff on the street. She said, hello, hey Joe, wanna give it a go? Oh, gitchy, ya, da, da. Gitchy, ya, here. Mocha chocolata, ta. Creole lady marmalade. I'll close it down with yet another soundtrack entry. I have Ming T singing BBC from Austin Powers. And oh wow, completely forgot. You know, I've shared a lot of my thoughts about Die Another Day in these efforts. It's only fair I mention that I absolutely love Madonna's Beautiful Stranger from Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Haven't we met? You're some kind of beautiful stranger. You could be good for me. I got a taste for the danger. If I'm smart, then I'll run away. But I'm not, so I guess I'll stay, heaven forbid. I'll take my chance on a beautiful stranger. I looked into your eyes and my world came tumbling down. You're the devil in disguise, that's why I'm singing this song. To know you is to love you. You're everywhere I go, and everybody knows I pay for you with tears. and swallowed all my pride. La 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 la, beautiful stranger. La 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 la, beautiful stranger. Fun! Finally, there's a song I've got in here that's specifically because of my hubby's love of anime. I don't know when I encountered Masanori Akita's Time Hollow, but it's in here like Amelie's Again is in here. My hubby Ralph has it's a game he played, but I'm pretty sure that game was Dance Dance Revolution, because the copy I've got is very lo-fi recording. The LP is listed as DDR Supernova 2, so that explains that. Draw the line and turn the time, taking back what was mine. Now I can change almost anything. Hold tight, search for the light. Do I know what's wrong or right? Put the pieces back where they belong. Wow, just really enjoy this track. Memories I've mentioned here and there, but so much art, so much life, so many experiences I'd never had. My universe is richer, fuller, so much more fun and exciting because of the life energy my husband shared with me. Thank you, Ralph. And with that, time to get this one on the feed here. Thanks again, my friend Mikey Heinrich. Please check out his YouTube channel. That link is in my show notes. And thank you all so much for checking on me as I poke around my music collection. As always, anything that might have reminded anyone of singing in this or any VideoFuzzy production, let me assure you that it wasn't. Any low-bar karaoke attempts you might have encountered in this tiny little indie project would only been included as sketch reference for illustrative purposes as part of fair use review, and certainly weren't meant to infringe on anyone's licensing, copyright, or distribution agreements. Go forth, buy songs, support the artists you love. Meanwhile, please add, follow, and subscribe VideoFuzzy the Soundtrack wherever you get your podcasts. And with any questions, comments, artist suggestions, please contact me through my show notes or by email to tjam1970@yahoo.com. For VideoFuzzy the Soundtrack, I'm Terry J. Aman. Happy listening.